So you saw the Rick and Morty thing, right?
Yeah,
Like the end, at the end of one of the episodes. I don't even know what episode it is actually. I might go and check for
the
myself.
latest one.
But yeah, the end tag is the writing on Game of Thrones 2011 to 2016, and the dude's just like, that's fucking savage, and that is absolutely fucking savage and absolutely on point. What do you think of Series 7 of Game of Thrones, man?
I honestly think Series 6 is bad, but Series 7 is just god
Yeah,
awful.
it's been fucking terrible. The second episode was, I think, the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I was like, no, seriously though, I was just sat there like annoyed by the constantly contrived things that were just happening, and just like, and it was just like skipping his little thing, his little thing, his little thing, his little thing, but there was no like contiguous plot theme between these things. These were just, oh, we need to chop off a bunch of events and tie up a bunch of not, loose ends, or at least show you where they're crossing over into the next line, sort of thing. And it was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is like Arya and the wolves. Oh, she's in snow all of a sudden. Oh, the wolf comes up and then just goes away. Plot thing. It's just like, ugh. And
You know what's the counter argument to that, right? They will say, and this is if you go on any Reddit forum and you see
no,
the most upvoted thing, like it's a fantasy, so it has dragons and stuff. Like, why do you care? And
no,
I
but that's
think
not an
that
argument about like, she could have been doing something in the north rather than just, oh, here's an encounter on the road that led to nothing really anyway. The wolf shunning her or whatever. There's no need for that. It was pointless.
oh come on, that's not even the worst thing. Like I was saying earlier, it's like so. She went into the phrase, and you notice that at the banquet where the phrase are eating, there's no women and children there.
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah,
obviously she can't poison women and children because then she wouldn't be a
good person.
chaotic good type of character.
Yeah, but
She manages to butcher two people, takes them to the kitchen, no one notices, no one complains. She makes a pie, then butchers Walder Frey, again, no one notices, no one complains. She hides the body, she takes off his face. Then she manages to send ravens, I guess, to summon the entire family to be in the banquet. And it's not only that. It's like Jamie. Why is Jamie talking with with the queen? Why isn't he talking with any of the lords of the castle that would actually be the ones controlling the Tyrells? It makes absolutely no sense. And the thing is, when we watch something sci-fi, basically the storyteller and the viewer have an agreement that yeah, there's going to be a suspension of disbelief, with the fantasy element. But everything else has to be in the logic of the own story. It's like the characters should have their own logical consistency, and the events should be logical consistency. We suspend the belief for those scientific sci-fi elements, which are the dragons and the White Walkers and anything like that. But characters should still act
yeah,
like
it's
normal
got to have
human
internal consistency. I mean, like the little finger thing really annoyed me. It's just like, okay, so I mean, the entire conflict between Arya and Sansa just feels contrived to me. Just it feels totally forced, totally fucking forced. And like as far as I can tell, these characters should just be pleased to see each other, and they'll be like, oh, but something bad happened in the past. I say, yeah, but bad things were happening that we weren't in control of. We were all afraid. We all had to do things. You think there'd be a bit more understanding there? They'd just be, after everything has happened, just be fucking pleased to see that you're both alive. And then the whole like betrayal of Littlefinger. Okay, but I mean, Littlefinger was the reason that the army had come to save them, because as she points out, Jon loses the Battle of the Bastards, and it was the whose army was it? The Eyrie or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, the veil.
Yeah, the Vale. Why the fuck would they stay for Sansa?
Yeah, it
Right?
makes no sense. That's the
Littlefinger
thing.
came for him. For
I
her.
remember Game of Thrones. Like if you watch the the first seasons, it's basically consequences for bad decisions, and even good decisions can have bad consequences. And in this case, it's like, okay, you killed Littlefinger. What I expect to see is that the Lords of the Vale will say, well, we have no reason to be here. We have our own families to defend. We're
Yeah.
going to go back in the Vale because it's a much more defensible position.
And then you've got the whole fucking just the travel times. Fuck the travel times in this series. The undead have been traveling for years, and they have only just arrived at the wall. but everything else happens in record time. And now it's all the time he's getting really fucking convenient. It takes her. I mean, literally, they're standing on a hill in the middle of a frozen lake, and she turns up just in time to save them on fucking dragons. It's like, no, she'd probably be days away, wouldn't she? Let's be honest.
But not only that, right? Not only that. If you look at season 3, when Robb took up arms against the Lannisters, Jon Snow wanted to desert the Night Watch, and basically what he was being told is like, look, he's too far away. You're going to be caught. It's like if Jon Snow in season 3 would have gone to meet Robb,
yeah,
he would have spent at least like 4 or 5 episodes on horseback.
Yeah,
because it was so far away, right?
And it took Robb ages to get his way down the country.
Yeah. But now what seems to happen is that a couple of men can go beyond the wall and then ask one of them to go to the wall, and he just runs away. And then sends a raven that has some jet fuel coming out of his ass that manages to go all the way to Dragonstone in order to get Daenerys to go on her dragon and go back, or everything in a day. And this is like a huge landmass that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's colossal.
Yeah, it's almost like from one corner to the American to the other. Yeah. You know,
it's not that big, but like it's the travel speed that they have to go on. It's on foot or by horseback, or sailing or flying. And it's like, okay, maybe the flying's quicker than the others, sure, but it's surely not like on a jet plane. You know, you're not going to make it in like we'll be there in 6 hours. You know.
Yeah. I mean, this is the reason the Lannisters don't march their armies
sailing.
to war.
Jon Snow's sailing, and it's like, okay, he's gone for months. Like, except that he's gone for months, Sansa, and get on with it. And in the meantime, the undead army comes down. That's what would happen.
What I find it also interesting is that no one complains about Jon Snow breaking his vows. Like, you'd think people would behead him. You know, that like
maybe, but there's an existential threat coming, and Jon Snow actually knows how to do something about it. I mean, what really annoyed me is when he actually left to go to visit Daenerys for the first time, and everyone's like, "Oh, don't go." It's like, "Or what? Don't go, and we'll stay here and get killed by the undead." Because we haven't got dragons to kill the undead, and we don't have the fucking dragon glass that's out where Daenerys is anyway, and this is just a giant proof of lazy fucking writing. Oh, the two solutions happen to be in the same location. Well, I guess it's going to go, but they really don't want him to go. It's like, well, what reason? We're all going to stay here and die, or I could go and see if I can get at least some dragon glass, if not also dragons, and then come back. I mean, everyone would be like, okay, yeah, go, Godspeed. Fucking.
Oh, hold on. These are like two interesting things. Like, number one, why do all the old men in the north, you know, the God-fearing men, number one, believe the White Walkers are real? They never seen one. And number two,
we got folk legends, and Jon Snow claims he's seen them, and so okay, I can believe the men of the north would believe it.
But why did they believe that he actually resurrected from the dead?
I don't know.
Right. And when he leaves. It does seem that Sansa has this aura of making people retarded around her because of her feminism.
Yeah.
No, honestly, like there was this scene with blacksmiths that were making armor, and she's like, "Oh, the winter is coming. Shouldn't you put leather on that?" And
okay. Yeah. It's a stupid fucking idea. These blacksmiths don't know how to make the fucking armor. And Sansa somehow does.
Yeah, but she looked like a totalitarian communist.
Yeah. Okay. But she's in a time of war. There's danger coming. Blah blah blah. It's not like they're just living free lives and doing nothing, right? And this is something that pissed me off about the Arya Sansa fucking arguments. Is like Arya going, "Oh, you're just doing this because you like doing this power," and it's like, but she's actually been doing things. You know, she's like, oh, you know, we're getting the grain in because people are going to come there, so she's preparing by taking a grain stock that they can have back. That's perfectly good. Sansa's actually doing something really productive. I'm actually quite enjoying Sansa doing something for once. And then Arya comes in and is just like, I'm going to take a shit on you. And it's like, yeah, but she's actually working, Arya. What have you fucking done?
Well, to be fair,
you've sat there and self-indulged, going, "Oh, I've got a list of people I want to kill." Oh, brilliant, Arya! That'll stop the White Walkers.
I disagree with you. She is a child, right? She doesn't really understand the politics.
Yeah, she's smart though, and she's child in a time period like that it's portraying, in a world that it's portraying, is very young. You know, by the time you're a teenager,
I kind of understand. You know,
and she's a noble as well, so it's not like she didn't know what was coming.
No, but I don't find that part to be really annoying. What I find really annoying is how overpowered that bitch is.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
okay,
massively.
she knows how to lockpick. She can have access to magic by changing faces, and then manages to even copy the person that she's changing the face perfectly. Because even if I would change into your face, I wouldn't
Hmm.
know how to act exactly like you, so not to
Yeah,
arouse
yeah, yeah,
suspicion.
yeah. Yeah.
She's a really good fighter. She manages to beat one of the best fighters in Westeros, which is Brienne, right? She takes like a steel boot to the chest and then gets up and makes a pose. Um,
Mm.
she is really good at stalking and following people around.
She did go up a lot of levels, didn't she?
Yeah, and the question is like, when exactly did she do all this? Like, she stood with the faceless men for a couple of months, and she got her ass kicked most of the time.
Yeah.
And now they gave her like armor penetration with the Valerian dagger as well. I swear she's going to kill a White Walker.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she probably is. She's probably going to be one of the things that kills a white fucking walker. But the things I like the fact that she was training. Right, I did like the fact that she was training with the guy, and I was buying into her being skilled and being good for a child. You know, just being good. But yeah, she seems to be developing sort of like Mary Sue-isms. Just she's
Yeah.
amazing at everything. I mean,
When she was with the Hound, she managed to kill people by surprise. Like, she would just approach
Yeah.
someone, drop a coin, and when the guy goes
Yeah.
down, she just stabs him with the sword, and that makes sense. It's like, okay, no one
Yeah.
expected that. That's unprepared. And then the Hound steps in, and I was like, all right, that's really good. And in the book,
Now she's a
also,
ninja
yeah, now
fighting a
she's,
trained knight, and it's like, and not only a trained knight, the knight that beat the Hound. It's like,
yeah.
yeah,
No, she is one of the best fighters in Westeros, hands down. Like, she won a tourney for Renly. She manages
Yeah.
to
which means
people,
Arya is now one of the best fighters in Westeros, and I don't, it's
honestly,
just
yeah.
overpowered for the sake of
No,
it. But this is the
I
thing.
honestly think so. If you put Arya against any other fighter in the show, she's going to win.
Well, it depends on the importance of the character.
Tell me a
I think
character that you
main
think would-
character powers will there's a hierarchy there.
Tell me a character that you think would beat Arya, besides the Mountain, of course.
Oh, Jon Snow,
You think so?
for story purposes, yeah.
Hmm. No, yeah, you might be
I mean,
right.
they brought him back from the dead for story purposes. So, yeah, I think Jon Snow is the main character, and he's going to be the one who wins everything. I haven't read the books, so I might be completely
I
wrong.
hate it. I hate it as the fact because Martin said that the end wouldn't be predictable.
Yeah,
Like,
it
he
just
actually
it
hates.
just seems to be fucking lazy at the moment. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Ma-
And
the-
like
the-
at least the Jon Snow Daenerys relationship, it's okay, but I don't really feel much chemistry between the two characters, so it kind of annoys me. I think the reasons are all there and they're all right, but I'm just not feeling the like they really love each other. I don't think they spent enough time together.
No, I mean, well, we don't know how much time passed, but another thing
Yeah,
that
I know,
pisses
but
me off-
if we're not shown it, I'm going to assume it's minimal.
Here's the thing, right? There is a deleted scene where Bran actually tells Sansa that Littlefinger killed her father and whatnot, and it's like, okay, so another Deus Ex Machina, like the entire season.
Oh yeah, don't even get me fucking started on Bran, man. Bran, oh, I see everything everywhere all the time. Oh. Well, that makes things a lot easier, doesn't it? You'll be able to
but-
tie up a lot of loose ends very conveniently, like that fucking way. Jesus.
The
It's
thing
so
that I liked
lazy.
the thing that I liked about season 1, right? Because people keep saying that I hate Game of Thrones. No, I think season 1 and 2, 4 are amazing, amazingly well written. But if you look at them and you actually listen to the conversations properly, you get a lot of hints and tips of what will happen. And if you're really good, you can actually predict events. Now, I can't predict jack shit. Everything is so random. It's like everything is just happening because it's
No,
cool.
no, it's not even random now. Now it's about plot conveniences and favourite characters, right? Seriously, the character. I'm absolutely certain at this point, the characters that are popular are going to just win, and the characters that are not popular are going to just lose. Hence with Littlefinger, he was never like a popular character. It was a shame because I think a good villain is a good character. You know, good villains are important, and Littlefinger was a good villain. In fact, if I was writing this, I would probably have Littlefinger win everything in the end. And so the end of Game of Thrones is Littlefinger sat on the fucking throne or something like that. Just, as the sort of camera pulls back or whatever and everyone's bowing the knee to him. I think that would have been a fucking interesting way to get to that ending. That would be really interesting.
I would make it so that he actually wins, especially in the north. And then when the White Walker comes, he realizes the error of his ways because of the wars that he fought and stuff like that. There's not enough people to defend the north, and now he's fought. And he gets killed, not because he made a mistake, but because he was too good at getting power.
Maybe. You could do anything with it, but like killing him off is like, oh, well, he was useful. But then, why are the Knights of the Vale still there? I mean, what...
Yeah, exactly.
Why wouldn't they just be like, so what, you murdered... I mean, what was he killed for? I can't remember what the reason was.
Murdering, what was it, Ned Stark, and murdering Alyssa.
Did he murder Ned Stark?
Conspiring. It was treason, right? He put the knife in season 1 at Ned Stark's throat and said, I told you not to trust me.
Oh, right, yeah.
But the thing is, right, so first of all, none of the Vale Lords asked, it's like, okay, why did Alyssa wanted to kill you, Sansa? Because he actually said...
You'd think he'd get some sort of trial, wouldn't you?
Well, apparently they did trial the guy that was the bard there, and he went to jail for the crime. And it's like, none of the nobles are pissed off that they killed an innocent man. But not only that, right, what really pisses me off is the inconsistency in the lore. So... in I believe season 6, we're told that the dragons are dangerous now. They're eating children, and that's why Daenerys locked them. Right now, I was curious. Okay, when they reach Westeros, how are they going to deal with this?
That's another thing that pisses me off. Daenerys' psychic control over her dragons. They just act. I mean, like when she says like Dracarys or whatever, and they burn them with flames. The distance between her and the dragon's ears, the dragon would surely never have heard that. But they just seem to act on like psychic will. What's useful for Daenerys at this point? And they do exactly the right thing, and she's always predicting it. And it's like the way when she's coming down off the dragon, the way the dragon moves, like almost like there's a preset set of steps she's going to go down, and the dragon thing has been animated around that. Which obviously
and another thing that's really annoying is the Dothraki, right? Again, in season 1, it's established that they're not good at fighting plate armor, and this is why Mormont wins against one of the Blood Knights. When he wants to go into the hut because he's wearing armor, and the weapon from the Dothraki is useless against him. And the Dothraki even think that's cheating, right? So I was really curious to see, okay, are they going to improve the armor of the Dothraki? Are they going to do something, like maybe give them lances or something else to fight against? No, nothing. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, they're the best force that Westeros have ever seen, and that they're so good. It's like, what?
Why?
They
literally don't have weapons that can get through your armor. I mean, you should be thrashing the Dothraki. They don't even have bows. They're just like mounted swordsmen.
Some of them do actually.
Okay. Well, not a large like archer force like the Mongols or anything. And with the sort of lacquered armor that the Lannister army had. They should. I mean, they formed a shield wall. They put spears up. The Dothraki are not getting through that. That would have been a perfectly adequate formation to deal with that. I think. Obviously, the dragon changed things, but
The reason people stop using their weapon in medieval time is because of the lance. It's a lot better. You use the impact of the horse, and you push it in the lance. It's a lot cheaper to make. You just need a piece of wood in order to make a spear if you can't have the lance. And it's also giving you range. It makes you so that you can poke things before they can poke you in return. Not to mention their horses don't even have armor. Like you can just rain arrows over them.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, but not even that. Like, they don't have shields; they have a sword, and it's like, okay, why wouldn't you get killed by a guy with a spear? Because you look like the sort of thing that would get killed by a guy with a spear. You'd be coming like I'm just thinking just like Mountain Blade style now. If you've got your arm back and you're about to swing, and he pokes forward, then you've just got your open chest with no armor.
They don't even have to poke the rider; they can poke the horse.
Yeah.
The thing is, like the horses, they're not retarded. Like you wouldn't walk in a wall of 20 things.
You wouldn't even get close enough. Yeah, you wouldn't even get close enough to use the sword. But I mean, okay, fine. They got their lines broken by a dragon. Okay, yeah. So the Dothraki get through. Fine, right? So they managed to get through. But even then, like the weapons are very badly designed. I mean, they're not going to cut through their armor. So you've got to get like a thin section with the faces. But if everyone's got a fucking shield, that's going to be difficult, isn't it? And all he needs to do is just hack wildly around his shield. And if he cuts you, he'll cut you. You know, it doesn't
I
really
have
matter
to give
him.
I have to give it to the morale of the Lannister army, like just still having ranks when the dragon was coming.
Yeah,
towards
I would have just fucking like, right, okay, we're done. Yeah, I would have just been like, gone.
It's just fucking it.
And don't get me wrong, top marks to Bronn for actually hitting the fucking thing. Just a bit of a plot convenience to make Bronn look cool, though, wasn't it?
What I love about it, right, is first he opens the shit and then he loads the ballista. It's like, look, that thing was undercover and was giving you camouflage, so you can load it without the dragon noticing you.
But more importantly, why aren't they just mass producing these fucking things?
Good question.
You know, you'd be like, right, okay, they've got 3 dragons. We're going to need about 1,000 of these ballistas. So just literally everyone, full war mode, or we're all going to get burned down by a fucking dragon. That would be what I would be telling people.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it like the thing is,
The fire
Jamie
doesn't discriminate. Everyone get in in the workshops.
Jamie goes there and says, "Oh, the ballista didn't do anything." It's like,
It did.
what do you mean it didn't do anything? It made the dragon land. It's definitely useful.
She had to pull the fucking thing out, and you nearly got the opportunity to get her. You know, it's like the writing in this series is just so fucking lazy. I just can't think of a better description. This is just like they are phoning it the fuck in. They're just like, oh, we've got a load of fucking things we need to tie up. Right, let's just do that easily. Yeah, don't worry about the travel times. No one will really know because we're cutting. They don't know. Just fucking blah blah blah. I know it's just like let's like heroic romantic romance between Daenerys and Jon Snow. It's like, yeah, it's convenient.
Do you think it even matters that his king?
Oh,
now?
he's a Targaryen, by the way. Oh,
Do you
that's
think that will
convenient.
matter? By the way, do you think that will influence the plot?
Oh, it's just incestuous now, but
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, but
Like-
it's cousins. You know, like the entire history of Europe is basically cousins marrying without a cousin. But the thing is,
and our royalty don't have chins.
no, but here's the thing, right? It shouldn't matter jack shit that he's now king. It really shouldn't, because he doesn't have any armies to take over the Iron Throne, right? And he already bent the knee.
I
So
think
even
he
if
does have
he's the
some
rightful-
troops in the north.
Well, yeah, but he's not going to use them to move south, and he doesn't have any
No.
dragons, right? So
No,
if he
but
has,
Yeah, go on.
I bet that the writers of the show will make him like be this virtuous type of person, saying, "Oh, well, now that I'm the rightful ruler, I have to go on the throne. I can't let you have it," and they will have a spat between.
Well, no,
them.
there'll be a king and queen, and they'll rule together happily ever after. That's what's
Yeah, I
going to
don't think
fucking
it's going to
happen.
be that. That's
I think I'm absolutely certain that's what's going to happen. If the writing carries on like it is, it's going to be that fucking lame. I'm telling you.
maybe, but the thing is, like Martin said, that he hates the Lord of the Rings precisely because it's so predictable, and it's just good versus evil. And the whole thing with Martin is like he makes characters that are morally ambiguous. Like,
Is he
if you look at-
writing this part though? Because I mean, I'm amazed that if he wrote this, I'm amazed he's just again phoned it in. So
No,
much.
I don't think he wrote it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think he's writing at this point.
No.
And if he is, he's just being a lazy cunt about it.
The whole thing with Daenerys, right, is when you read the books, you can't really tell if she's a good person or if she's as mad as the Mad King. And it's, you know, that question that you keep reading, and it's like morally ambiguous. And now I saw the spider Varys say, "Oh yeah, she's not like the Mad King," and it's like, well, clearly you have changed the character then. You know, if you can say, you know, with an honest.
Yeah. But what annoyed me is the when she burned the 2 guys to death with the dragon. Like, I'm gonna be different. You know, you're not being different, and she doesn't seem to be agonizing over that at all. You know, she doesn't seem to care.
Why couldn't she just chop her heads like a normal person?
Why couldn't she have just imprisoned them and actually just not been like she said she was gonna not be like?
Well, because treason is punishable by death, so I kind of
it's
get
not
that.
treason.
But by the way,
for
Sorry?
them, for the Lannister soldiers, it's not treason.
no, for the other people, because apparently she's the rightful ruler of the North, right, of the Iron Throne. So basically, them not bending the knee means that they broke their vows to the previous Mad King.
Okay. Alright, well, whatever, I don't care now. I've just got to the point where there are just too many flaws. And don't even get me started about the fucking White Walkers as well, and the undead.
What's wrong with them?
Okay. I'm fine with the guy having to throw like a fucking rocket launcher. Okay, that's I can accept. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just have it. The dragons could just fly down low to the ground and you smash one. You know, like so you don't have to throw it 500 feet in the air.
There's memes with him playing in the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. I can fucking believe it. It's just like, oh Jesus Christ.
Well, to be fair, no, hold on. To be fair, they're incredibly powerful. Like you see in one episode where one White Walker just picks up Jon Snow and throws him like a twig, like it's nothing. So.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
It's ridiculous. What was it? There was something else I was going to say about them as well.
By the way, before you go to that, the thing with throwing back, what I didn't understand is that right in front of him was the dragon with Dany, Jon Snow.
That was it. Why didn't you chuck it at her? You know, the main dragon. Why?
You could have ended the war right there and then.
I love the way he was doing it to, you know, intimidate them and make a point. It's like, yeah, I'm not interested in actually winning this war and killing the Queen of the Dragons. I'm actually just gonna, you know, it's like wrestling. You're just gonna hype it up. It's like, okay, that's just silly.
I also love the way they pull the chains out of their ass, you know. And a lot of people.
Saying, where'd they get those fucking chains from?
Yeah, people are saying I'm nitpicking, but listen, right? This is bad writing. Why couldn't the writers just make the dragon fall on the ground rather than fall into the lake so it's all sad and shit? I mean, this is exactly what they're going for. You know, they're going for what looks cool rather than what makes.
Yeah, and they're just being lazy with how it happens. You know, but the chain thing's a legitimate question. Where the fuck did they get these huge fucking chains from just out of nowhere? Just
like think about it. North of the wall, you don't even have access to that sort of. There's nothing you can use them for.
And the thing is, right? Okay, can they swim or not?
I assume, like another thing, right? I assume the dead could just go on the bottom of the ocean and just walk.
Pirates of the Caribbean style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume that too. But they were like, oh, they can't swim. It's like, okay, but how did they get the chains on the dragon then?
Good question. Very good question.
What do they do? You know, I mean, literally, this is like, it's so fucking lazy. It's pissing me off.